What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse. Alongside my partner Ryan, I am J-Man. On this, why are we so far away from each other right now?
I feel like there's a movable force beating the
Immovable object?
Oh shit! Fucked it all up.
That's not it.
No.
That can't be it.
No.
Can't.
Smells like Bork lasers in the way.
I'm smelling the truth around here.
Smell the truth.
It smells like truth around
Smell
here.
the truth.
You smell the truth is cooking.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, this guy.
What the fuck is he doing here? Is that Mr. Truth gracing you with his presence on the Pro Wrestling Pulse?
It's an honor to be here.
Is it?
Yeah.
An honor? I mean, you've done a million of these videos. It's now an honor. All of a sudden, 100 million videos later, it's all of a sudden an honor to do a video.
now-
You know how many more views we're gonna get with him on here?
Dude, we're
One.
skyrocketing.
One.
It's like putting. It's like
Just all
putting-
watch it
It's
now.
like putting a naked chick on your video.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of doing that. Putting truth in your video.
That close.
It's pretty damn close.
Damn.
The truth gracing us with his presence on this
You're
video. He's now able to do these reviews, which we do every now and then when we feel like fucking doing them.
Sorry, we didn't
we're
do
like
a
Chris
review
Jer-
for SummerSlam.
Yeah, we're like Chris
It was
Jericho. We just
terrible.
kind of do whenever the fuck we want to do it. We did not do the SummerSlam review, which we pimped and hyped for I don't even know how fucking long, and then that travesty of a fucking show happened, and we were
Trash.
like, we don't give a fuck to even feel like sitting here and doing a goddamn video. To be totally honest with you, I don't really feel like we would end up doing a video for this show either. But we have some stuff we want to say and stuff we want to get off our chest that we haven't talked about in a while. So yeah, I'm sorry. We apologize. We do apologize for not doing that SummerSlam video because we did talk about that, but it was like one of the worst SummerSlams of all time. So it's like, why the fuck?
The
should
worst.
we-
The worst.
Why the fuck should we sit here and talk about it? So no. But we are going to give you our WWE No Mercy 2017 review, just getting off the air on the WWE Network. This is a very hyped show, a show that a lot of people were talking about going into. It had a great, on card, or great
On paper.
on paper. That's what I was trying to think of. Great card on paper. Yeah, a lot of people were hyping this to be, hopefully a turnaround show for WWE that, at least on the main roster wise, a turnaround show for the WWE. Yeah. So we decided to go ahead and do this review. We said shitty or not, in between, whatever this show ended up being, we were going to do a review one way or another. So we committed to it this time. And we're going to kick this show off, as they kick the show off with the Intercontinental title on line when champion The Miz went up against Jason Jordan.
As always, Mr. Oz getting involved. Jason Jordan. Why WWE can't figure out how to put this guy over, finally? I know he's kind of generic. I think J-Man used the terminology of Rocky Maivia when he came in, just kind of smiley,
You just gotta give
plain
Jason.
Jane.
You gotta give Jason Jordan a couple years, and then he'll get into the Nation Domination, and then it'll be fine. Oh wait, wrong guy. Sorry.
Yeah, wrong
Right.
guy. But you just got to figure a character for him and build this. I mean, the kind of generic character is right now, but the Mr. Oz getting involved like they always do. Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas.
Great worker though.
Yeah,
Great worker.
he is. You would think at this point in time, Miz would be putting people over because he got put over. It took a while, because a long while, but finally he is the Miz. So, but Jason Jordan needs to better matches. This was a good match for him. Again, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, both in the ring getting involved. Axel ended up hitting Jason Jordan for Miz hit the skull crushing finale, and then getting to 1, 2, 3 and retaining his Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good start there. As I said, I think, Jason Jordan, we said, he's a great athlete. He's really talented in the ring. I just think it's going to take some time for him to maybe figure out something,
They gotta
charisma,
Find that
character-wise.
character for him.
The Miz was real
They'll have to
over in
find
this match
something.
though.
Yeah, The Miz was super over.
He was super over, and
yeah.
in the
Well,
It
crowd.
has been.
The
The
honestly.
crowd
That's
wanted him
Time.
to. I mean, yeah, the crowd wanted him to win.
Yeah.
Even with the Jason Jordan face
Right.
run, and then he cut like a really generic promo afterwards.
Oh my God! What the
That's
fuck
horrible.
that was? That was terrible.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It seemed so rehearsed. He had zero
It was.
passion.
Yeah,
it was awful.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot to work on.
He was talking so slow, like he was trying to remember all of his lines.
Yeah, he's trying not to fuck up.
Yeah, he's just got to go out there and learn how to, talk to The Rock. Find out
He
how
just
The
needs
Rock
some time,
changed.
honestly.
Yeah.
He hasn't been a singles guy. He's been in a tag team, for a long time. So I think.
And Gable
you
did
know,
all the talking there for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, he'll find some strides, and I think he definitely has room to improve in a lot of areas. But he definitely is a He's a guy you can mold and hopefully
Future blue chipper.
can find. Well, I think he is a current blue chipper,
Well,
but has talent.
He's got to build up there.
I think the definition of blue chip isn't it just potential, basically?
Yeah.
Has a lot
Is
of
it blue
potential.
chipper or is it blue chip?
I think it could be anything.
What
He's
is
a
that?
blue chip talent, or he's a blue chipper.
What is blue?
It's either past tense or it's either future tense.
Future tense or current tense?
What is that even? Blue chipper. What is that even?
He's a future superstar.
in
Or
terms-
future,
In
you know,
terms of
future
anything,
world
what does it
champion.
even mean?
He's a future
Yeah.
world champion.
What is that?
What does the term shadow of doubt mean? I've always wondered that. Without a shadow of a doubt, what the fuck does that even mean?
And no doubt.
There's no shadow.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Shadow of a doubt, like what?
Somebody Google it and find out.
I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm gonna look up blue chipper.
Okay, you do that.
Look it
Because
up.
I'm actually
Look it
really
up.
curious.
Hopefully it'll end up better than when you tried to look up your fantasy thing that one time and you're trying to pick, or you typed in hard ass guy. Don't ever type that into Google, ladies and gentlemen.
You're right.
Hard ass guy will not get what you were
You're right.
looking for unless
Wait.
unless you want a hard ass guy as your result. No, that didn't end up well
Ask
that
Siri
day.
what a hard
Okay,
ass
here we
guy
go.
is.
Blue chipper meaning
Okay.
a highly valued person, especially an athlete.
No, well,
Okay.
I would classify that as,
Okay.
as Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
He just feels a little too 96 Rocky Maivia. A little bit too much.
Little green.
But yeah, the Miz retaining in the opener there, pretty solid start there. Next matchup, we had this continuation of this fucking feud for some goddamn reason.
Man versus man.
Man on man. This is a man on man match, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
No demons allowed in these fucking parts.
But then Bray Wyatt had to say he was God.
God. So then it was God on man on devil on demon.
God.
What the fuck is happening? We had Bray Wyatt going up against Finn Balor. Finn Balor had his cute little trunks on, little sky blue fucking motherfucker.
Looked like he was a blue chip.
Yeah, blue
He's a
chip.
blue chipper.
UK guy.
Yeah, alright. Fuck. I've said before about Finn Balor, I think he's a talented guy in the ring. I think he can definitely go. To me, I don't see what I guess everybody else sees in him. I don't see a guy that can be your poster boy of your company. I don't see a guy that can be the face of your company.
Wasn't he the face of NXT for a while?
I mean, yeah, that's true. And the face of NXT is not the face of WWE. That's
True.
a totally different.
Didn't he
comparison.
create the Bullet Club?
Yeah. And then
I'll give him that.
The most profitable wrestling
owned by New Japan.
I will give him
So
that.
maybe they should give him some leeway and let him be himself more.
I will give him that.
The
I think that's an issue with a lot of WWE talent. I think is they leash them. They don't let them kind of be expressive.
Yeah.
They're like, you're going to be this guy, and you're going to do this, and you're not going to do anything else.
Yeah,
And I think that kind of hurts the creative side of wrestling.
it's true. It's true.
There is no Shawn Michaels these days, though.
That's true as well. That is also true. That Shawn Michaels is not around anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, Finn Balor going up against Bray Wyatt here. This match was all right. I was done with this feud as soon as I really saw it. I wasn't a fan of it. I am a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. I love Bray Wyatt. I love the gimmick. I love everything that he's done and the hard work that he's put in to get this character over. Because I think it's a great character, and I think it's something that's definitely been underutilized and that's been wasted over the past couple of years. Because to me, it could be the second coming of a variation of an Undertaker or a Mankind or flashes of like Jake Roberts and things like this. There's so much potential with that character, and without him even having to say a word, the things that he can just do by the looks that he gives or just the physical things that he does, and but they've just done a bad job overall, which we can say about the entire creative, side of WWE, which has just been trash for a very long time. And the booking of characters and the booking of guys and all that stuff we could go on and on about. But that's just, one of the parts of a Bray Wyatt. Finn Balor getting the win in this match, I really just I don't feel a need that this match even needed to take place. They could have just moved Balor on to do something else, and they could do their normal thing and move Bray Wyatt on to get into another feud and cut these eerie, creepy promos saying how he's this and that, and
But he never gets over.
But he never gets over, and they never give him anything to really bite into and further himself and help get over this character, because I think it's a waste of his character, because I think it's really, really good. And Finn Balor just playing he's just James Dean tonight with the cool guy jacket. We didn't bust the demon out, but yeah, it's whatever. But Finn Balor getting the win in that matchup there. Pretty solid, okay, whatever. But I really wasn't looking forward to it going into it in the first place. But Finn Balor getting the win in that matchup there. Next matchup, we had the Raw Tag Titles on the line when champions Rollins and Ambrose went up against Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah, so... Sorry, I have a little coffee.
Yeah. Stop being a fag. Just deal with it, all right?
As soon as I started talking...
Bring your A game.
You're right.
Bring your A game, bro. Truth's here.
Truth here. Yeah, I gotta get it done.
Fuck.
Okay, gosh. Yeah. So this was could possibly be the best match on the show. I don't know. Depends. I mean, Rollins.
How's my teeth look?
Yeah.
It's looking better than Cesaro's.
Right.
Now.
So yeah, this was a pretty solid match, pretty good tag match. We'll say WWE has done a pretty good job over the last several months of on both Raw and SmackDown with their tag teams, having good matches in that sense. Yeah, the big spot on this is I guess Cesaro took a slingshot into the corner, I guess overshot and then hit his mouth and part of his face on the corner post and just busted his two front teeth off. Like, just smashed his two front teeth in. And it just, his whole mouth was bleeding. It was all over his face. You would have thought he got...
Acidic liquid.
Acidic liquid.
It wasn't blood.
It wasn't blood, no.
Blood doesn't course through your veins. It's acidic liquid.
Yeah, that's what WWE was using, I guess.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then they carried on and continued the match and kept going. And they just... it was just a good, solid tag match that I feel like that WWE has been... like pushing with these guys lately. I feel like taking what I would consider 4 upper mid card guys and both of them being in all of them being in a tag team, I think elevates the match level. Not really the match level, but the time in which they get to perform. I feel like if it was a American Alpha versus the Vaudevillains or something like that, they'd get 10 minutes, and then they'd be done. This was longer because the names were bigger in this. You had Seth Rollins, and you had Ambrose, and Cesaro and Sheamus, and those guys are more upper mid-card guys, and you would even say Ambrose and Rollins were main eventers.
Yeah, but is it loss of ideas to deal with these guys so they throw them as a tag team? Yeah.
I don't think it's loss of ideas. I think they have a lot of long-term ideals and plans, and I think they're waiting to do things.
So kind of in the short term, let's just make a tag team again out of...
Yeah, I think, we got nothing for these guys to do right now because we want Cena and Reigns to be doing something. We want Lesnar and Strowman to be doing a program together. And, we don't have anything going on for Rollins and Ambrose. We'll just throw these guys together in a tag team, and, they used to be in the Shield. Why not? Let's pretend like they never hated each other, which I feel like they did a really good job of putting them back together. I thought that was one of the better things they've done.
It was a slow build, kind of.
It was
Rollins back.
Right. It was a slow build deal, but I thought they did a good job of doing it. I felt like if they would have just thrown them back together and like, oh hey, we're all good to go now, everything's fine. That
I want to see the same thing with Zayn and Owens and do the same kind of put them back together. And
they never teamed in WWE before, so that's kind of like
they talk about the history a lot though, how they used to be best friends.
So, but yeah, Rollins and Ambrose got the win here, and what I would say is probably the best match that they've had. These two teams have had against each other. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and the teeth getting busted out kind of made for a little shock moment in this match, and kind of made it more memorable. But
toothless regression.
But this was, I don't know.
Say toothless regression.
Toothless regression.
Toothless regression.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, this was better. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be. So it kind of surprised me.
Next matchup, we had the Fatal 5-Way for the Raw Women's title on the line. Champion Alexa Bliss going up against Sasha Banks, Emma, Bayley, and Nia Jax.
I mean, it had good parts to it, but part of it was just clustery. You almost need to do a 5-way elimination match to kind of make it more relevant. But you had everyone go for the pin. You had all of them teaming up against Nia Jax, who I personally don't think is that bad of a wrestler. I think she's viable in the ring. I know J-Man disagrees with me, but...
I actually agree with you. Sure.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think she's as bad as you think she is.
No, she's not. I mean,
I think she's as bad.
See, I don't think Emma's that great, but...
You don't think who?
Emma.
Oh, no.
I think Bayley, Sasha... I mean, I'm okay with Alexa Bliss. She's not my favorite. She's going to get her ass whooped when Oscar shows up. But, it was a short match. Got 10 minutes. I mean, it wasn't, long drawn out, but kind of a clustery with 5 of them in there. Alexa getting being able to retain it, getting the pin on Bailey. So I don't know if they go forward with Bailey and Alexa, or when Asuka debuts, she just comes in and kicks her and he's done. How they're going to do that? But Alexa getting the victory, getting the pin on Bailey. So we'll see where that leads to tomorrow night on Raw.
Yeah, which we got the tease on the pre-show. I think they said for sure that Asuka's going to be at the TLC pay-per-view the end of October. So her coming in, I just think that just means she's the way that she's been promoted and the way that she was in NXT.
You know what's better than Asuka?
I mean, she'll have the title that night. I don't think there's any chance that whoever's champion at that point, because I mean honestly, Alexa could go in not even with the title, with the way that they flip around that fucking woman's
Piece
title.
of candy?
I mean, they could toss it off of her tomorrow. I'm assuming she'll probably hold on to it until Asuka gets there, and then they'll do the cowardly heel thing with Alexa, and then she'll probably get her ass kicked, and Asuka will take the title and probably run with it.
11
run with it
changes,
until fucking at least Mania, I would guess. But
11 title
longer.
changes in 17 months.
Yeah, I think that's going to change once Asuka gets there, because I think she'll put a stronghold on it, and I think I think the division will increase, and I think it'll get a lot better, because I honestly think that it's the Raw Women's division is really lackluster. I just think you have a lot of talent in there that don't deserve to be even on the roster, in my opinion. I don't think Nia Jax should be on the roster. I don't really think Emma should be on the roster. I really don't think
I agree with Emma.
that a lot of these people should be on the fucking roster, except
Dana
for
Brooke.
Dana Brooke. But I mean, Alexa, she's not that great in the ring, but she's a really good character. She can talk in the mic. Sasha's great in the ring. Sasha's good on the mic. Sasha's just got a good, solid character behind her.
Bailey good.
And Bailey, obviously she has, her following and things like that, and obviously she's quality in the ring too. So once Asuka gets there, I think the shift will change dramatically, because you have a far superior talent to a
You
lot
think
of
she'll
people
have a
on this roster.
300-400 day title run plus like she had in NXT?
I doubt it. With the way that things are on the main roster, I don't really see her do NXT. That's a Triple H thing. That's a Triple H thing to add credibility to championships, not to toss it around like it's a piece of candy. But on the main roster, they like to toss around like a piece of candy, so who fucking knows? I highly doubt you could see a title run that long, but who knows? But hopefully, Asuka comes in there and increases the women's division and makes it some solid stuff going forward. Next matchup, we had obviously one of the two main events. Looking forward here. Me and Ryan actually thought this would probably be the main event, but actually holding off for it. It was kind of promoted as the secondary main event on this show. I thought they could maybe sneak it into the main event slot, but they did not. We had John Cena going up against Roman Reigns here. Obviously, a lot of people looking forward to this, calling it a dream matchup with the two most, obviously Cena, the most established WWE guy. That has been there and been the stronghold on the face of the company for the last 15 years, and Roman Reigns coming in here, obviously everybody, saying that he is the second coming of a John Cena, the new face of the company that they're trying to establish here, and it's obvious, and it was even more obvious after this matchup took place. To me, I was looking forward to this match. I really wanted to see if their dynamic worked. I think the beginning portion of this match, they played to the crowd a little bit too much. I wasn't really a fan of that. I think that they kind of let the crowd a little bit take over, what they're dictating. I think they wanted to play to the crowd, but I think they overplayed it just slightly, a little bit too much at the beginning. And then they got into it, and it was some pretty solid stuff. But it got to the tail portion of this, and it just seemed, it started to just feel really contrived and formulaic. It didn't feel very organic. It felt like, okay, we could read the script for them. It was make Roman Reigns look like the hardest motherfucking destroyer that you could possibly fucking could in this matchup. You had Roman Reigns kick out of 4 AAs. You had him get out of the STF. You had him kick out of a super AA. You had him kick out off the top rope. You had him kick out of a fucking double AA back-to-back with a rollover thing, which nobody's kicked out of that one, and I think one person is kicked out of the fucking super AA that we can remember. So pretty much making him just look as strong and as dominant as possible, which is that's always the thing that you hear, make Roman look strong, because that's what they want. They want Roman Reigns to look like the fucking man, and that's what they do, and I think they fall into a trap because we see through it, and I definitely saw through it, because as soon as we got towards the tail end of this match, it was some solid stuff, and it was a solid match, but I looked past that because with a lot of WWE's matches, you almost see the plan instead of seeing the match. You see what they're trying to get at. You see what they're trying to get over to you, and it just came off too formulaic to me, and trying to make Roman Reigns look like the shit. And we're beyond tired of seeing that because they've done it so many times. Having him in the main event of WrestleMania, 3 years in a row now, possibly 4 years next year. Having him take out The Undertaker in that terrible ass fucking main event that they had, have him beat Triple H in a giant contrived epic that they had at WrestleMania 32 that went way too fucking long and that was really trash. So yeah, we're beyond seeing past the formula to build up Roman Reigns like he's the shit, and I sure as hell am. But yeah, this was some solid stuff. I think a lot of people are going to say it's really, really good and this and that, but I see past the bullshit and I see the formulaic plan to position Roman Reigns where they want to position Roman Reigns. But Reigns getting the win in this matchup here.
See, now, I kind of watched it differently than J-Man did. I took, you see the formulated plan, but I stepped back from that and looked at the true match itself. Take away the names and what we know they're trying to do, putting over Roman Reigns with John Cena, putting Roman Reigns over with Triple H. I mean, it's failing every time they do it. You look at the actual match quality and the match they had, I thought it was really good. Match itself. Now, when you look at the whole picture, it was just garbage. No one could put Roman Reigns over. They keep trying so damn hard. They made John Cena almost look like he's retiring.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't have a John Cena have somebody kick out of everything he hits him with and then shake his hand and hug him at the end. But like they're hugging it out. And like, fuck, the crowd seen through it. We seen through it. It's like, come on, guys. Quit putting Roman Reigns over and realize we're wrong. Let's move on. But no.
They're in too deep.
Yeah, in too deep now.
Yeah,
They're in too deep. They've because if they pull out, that means they basically were wrong, and WWE isn't wrong. Vince is not wrong.
We're already too far in. We've been impregnated.
Yeah,
they can't pull out anymore.
Yeah, they can't. They can't. I mean, unless Roman Reigns literally shoots his own child,
right?
He will be like he probably
fails a couple more.
He could fail 10 more drug tests, and he'll still be on the show.
No, that's not true because there is actual.
Ask Jeff Hardy about that.
Yeah, there's an actual policy. You can't go past 3, but I would think if
he's definitely... he could fail 6 hidden ones.
See, Randy's is done too, so
yeah.
Jeff
I doubt he'll be fired if they'll hide that one out somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, you just it's just.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think I knew like kayfabe's dead. Kayfabe in wrestling is dead. I mean,
wait, kayfabe's dead?
Yeah.
Since when?
It's dead. Oh. It's dead. If you're a casual wrestling fan, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, right now, for American wrestling, literally is the worst time to be a wrestling fan. It is awful. You have to find your wrestling itch outside of this promotion. You have to find it in New Japan. You have to find it in. I just started watching Progress, which is great. Like. You have
NXT's not bad.
NXT is definitely worth checking out, but it's not a televised product. It's the Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views are highly manufactured, just for pop culture.
I feel like a Mountain Dew right now.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like a Mountain Dew right now.
You feel like a Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
He's just saw like 7 commercials of Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah.
This is
right
for promotion.
But yeah.
We got Crazy Bread?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Right. But yeah, no, and like I said, I agree. I think this match was pretty well put together, but I do agree that at the end it very strongly felt like the setup to make Reigns look very strong here, and that was, I mean, it's hard to step back from that and be like, just look at it as for the match and what it is, instead of being like, oh man, I knew this is what they were going to do. This is how they did it. They made him look good. The hardcore fans don't like him. Even the casual fans don't like him. He has zero charisma. This guy is
negative charisma.
He is the failed attempt at the perfect look, the perfect body, the everything that they want out of what a WWE superstar would look like, except the personality and being able to open his mouth.
Who remembers Luther Reigns?
I remember Luther Reigns.
Luther Reigns,
I
yeah.
remember Luther Reigns.
So obviously the Reigns doesn't work for people, so he
I
failed.
thought you were going to try and say they were related.
No, they're just.
I thought you were going to say that too. I was
No,
like,
they
wow.
have the same kind of build and where they look like they're going to be a superstar. Just like, was it Jindrak? What was his name?
Mark Jindrak.
Yeah. You have the
Robert with the deep cuts. He's pretty. He did his fucking research tonight, ladies and gents.
Jindrak.
Jesus Christ.
You have the body type, but you don't have anything else, and that's kind of what Roman Reigns does.
And that's an issue. That's an issue right now in WWE. I think that in professional wrestling nowadays, I think if you have, I think it does. You don't have to have the look. I think if you can get over with the fans, you can get over with the fans. You can cut the promo and you can connect.
Yeah, but
it's about connecting with the audience, regardless of what you look like.
Yeah, but
you don't have to be cosmetically pleasing.
Right, but if you go back in time and look at...
Don't tell the Briscoes that.
Right.
Briscoes is a perfect example. If you go back in time and look at Shawn Michaels, littler guy who really wasn't built like a Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's a sexy boy. You leave him alone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They knew what they were doing with
That's what I'm
him.
saying. He got over. I mean, if you look at him with the Rockers, they were over a little bit, but once he turned, boom, he just shot up and became the Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be chiseled out of stone to be that. Look at Chris Masters, but whatever.
I mean, you like I said, you look at some guys that WWE have right now.
Kevin Owens.
I mean, yeah, like a guy like Kevin Owens, he doesn't look like Apollo Crews or Jinder Mahal or who just lost that looks
Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't look like those guys, but he just headbutted Vince McMahon on SmackDown and made him bleed, and he's getting ready to do a Hell in a Cell with Shane McMahon. He doesn't look anything like those guys. You know why? Because he connects as a wrestling heel on WWE television, which is hard to do because everything is so crossed over.
Right.
It's because you hate who you hate and you like who you like, whether they're heel or face. And in the case of a Kevin Owens, you look at him and you're like, man, I love this guy as a person. If you've ever seen him outside of wrestling, he's great. But you respect in what he does as a heel because he's such a good wrestling heel. But you respect it because he's so good at making you hate him.
Well, not to make him.
CM Punk.
Not to mention, you respect the fact that he didn't have any advantages to work for him. He didn't have the look, or he had to prove himself, and he had to work his ass off.
Right.
So you respect the blue collar nature at which he had to go along the way that
Cash is on now.
The way at which he had to do the things that he did.
There's not many true heels in WWE right now.
Right.
The Miz and Kevin Owens are real true heels.
Right.
Like, it's hard to even. There's a lot of tweener guys. There's a lot of guys
Adam Cole heel.
Yeah, NXT. There's some guys that have been put on that level, but really in the main event, like, I'm trying to think of a heel. Would you say Bray Wyatt? Nah.
Strowman heel?
I mean, Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal is a heel.
Yeah.
But
he's not good.
He's not a good heel.
But
we're talking about good heels.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt.
He gets booed because he's bad, not because he's a good heel.
Yeah, he gets X-Pac. He doesn't get the heel that he thinks.
So it's just one of those things where it's like this. We've been over it hundreds of times about Roman Reigns. It
ain't working.
It's not it doesn't matter. You have a guy like a Daniel Bryan who can just get over with the crowd. He doesn't look the part. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in today's wrestling anymore. It is not the 80s. You don't have to look like Roman Reigns.
How you talk and how you wrestle.
But look at what AJ Styles has done.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Look at what AJ's done with just having people know about some secondary promotion. And he came in. You didn't even need to know TNA. As soon as he came in, everybody loved him. He got over because of his likability, just because he's a likable guy. He got over because of his talent, which should be the first and foremost, because, as I said in the last video, in WWE, wrestling comes before entertainment when you write it down on paper. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. And I'm not saying that that Reigns can't go in there and put on quality work. We're not saying that, but we're just not saying
he needs to keep his mouth shut.
He should not be being thrown and vaulted to the stature that he is being thrown and vaulted, because he is not that top tier of a talent.
He's not the greatest of all time.
He is not that top tier of a talent. He does not deserve to be thrown at us with such fucking force and thrown down our fucking throats with so consistently.
Is it me, or is he getting...
Because he's just not that quality of a fucking talent.
Is he getting thrown down our throats more than Cena was back in the day?
I think so.
I do, yeah, I do too. I think with the things that he has done and the things that he's accomplished in the last couple years, I mean, yeah, Cena's main evented some WrestleManias, back when he first got established, and Cena did a lot, and I think, I think with what Reigns has done, obviously with defeating Cena here, which looked probable, it didn't even look like there was a doubt to me. Like I went into this thinking Roman Reigns was clearly going to win this match, and he did.
It had that real big feel of. It almost seemed like Cena was passing the torch.
Yeah, it felt that way.
Or even at the end of this match, or even like he was going to leave.
Right.
They do that kind of sometimes and just kind of want to mess with you, but it really felt like a passing the torch. You're the next guy. Here you go.
Yeah, but
and I think
Triple H tried that, Undertaker tried that, Cena's tried that, and it ain't worked
yet. A lot of people have. And I think it's another big thing because it's a WWE homegrown talent. That's always such a big fucking thing to Vince and such a big thing to the developmental. To have guys that, yeah, you have, and look how long it took for them to finally put Daniel Bryan in the spot that Daniel Bryan deserved to be in because he wasn't a homegrown talent. Guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. He puts asses in seats. He's the kind of guy that makes you pay attention because of the quality work that he does and how much you care about him. He's not, just because he's not a fucking homegrown guy, all these guys that you have on your roster. You want to know why you fill your roster with all these former indie, PWG, Ring of Honor type
people
fucking
know who
talent?
They are, want to watch?
Because they're fucking awesome. That's why. You get the guys like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and AJ and fucking Tyler Black and Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and whatever the fuck is. Sami Zayn, all these Adam Coles, all these fucking guys that are on this fucking roster because you know that this is what people want to fucking pay attention to, and it's not these fucking guys like Reigns that they want to.
And if you notice, all these
guys,
this influx of indie guys, the vast majority now are keeping their names. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly,
sure.
Adam Cole,
yeah,
Austin Aries. You know who they are from the indies, and you know who they are on here. So people like us go, "Oh my God, Adam Cole's here. He's so great." And people are like, "Who?" And they're like, "We tell them all about him." So they, "Oh, okay, we like him now."
Yeah, we could go on and on for days about this whole situation, about Reigns and being shoved down our throats, but
Reigns, greatest of all time.
There's nothing we can fucking do about it. They're gonna do their thing, and they're gonna keep on pushing. But Reigns getting the win in that matchup there. Next one, God fucking damn it. We had the Cruiserweight title on line, win champion Neville went up against little Enzo Amore in this Cruiserweight matchup here.
This was trash.
Yep.
Garbage.
This was trash. And this even goes back to the women's match, too. Putting over... I have nothing wrong with Alexa Bliss. I think she's awesome as a character. I think there's a lot more talented workers than her in the business. But I think Enzo Amore wins the Cruiserweight title here because he is a character.
Boring.
He is a real character. And I think from the moment the Cruiserweight division landed on Raw, up until this moment, has failed. It is a failing idea. It is not working, and it's not working for two reasons. One, because they have made a guy like Neville, which I love him, he's great, made him the literal Brock Lesnar of the Cruiserweights.
Yep.
To where nobody can get over on him. And two, they haven't stuck to the formula in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament that made that tournament so great,
Yep.
which is still probably the best thing that WWE's done in the last couple of years.
Oh, the Megan Classic was pretty good.
No, not even close to the Cruiserweight.
No, it's not close. I'm saying it was good. It wasn't like Cruiserweights here, Megan Classics here. It's probably like that. But yeah, no, I agree it was better, but I'm just saying it wasn't that far apart.
And that was the formula they stepped away from, which was give us the good matches. If you're not going to give us the good matches on the Raws and between the main event guys and the Intercontinental guys, give us this little portion off to the side where you let two guys go out there for 15, 18 minutes and tear the freaking house down. So now you want to have the Cruiserweights go out there, do a couple little flippy floppies in 7 minutes, and you know that they're more talented in the ring than your upper card guys, but you don't want them to outshine them in the ring. But then those guys who are in the main event spots can't perform in the ring and give us those matches. So it's like a complete conundrum here because they're holding back these cruiserweights who we know on a weekly basis, on an hourly basis, once a week, can go out there and have great matches on 205 Live, which you've watched most of them.
I've watched every 205 Live there is. I was looking back at my notebook. This year alone, there's been multiple 4-star matches on 205 Live.
Yeah.
5-way elimination matches. There's been 3 of them now. All really good. Neville versus Mustafa Ali was awesome. Neville versus Cedric Alexander was almost a 4-star match. The matches are there on 205 Live. The problem is, it's 205 Live.
I think
People aren't tuning in on the WWE Network because it's on the network. And they're like, I don't even waste my time going to the network.
Right.
I think my big issue with the Cruiserweight thing is they're trying to put too much emphasis on character, and they're trying to put too much emphasis on trying to create storylines around these guys that are just workers. Like, they don't need.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
They
storylines.
don't need this fancy shit around them, and now I think they've crowned that idea by making Enzo the champion because he's the ultimate storyline.
Well, yeah,
he's the ultimate character.
But if you
guy.
look, when he won the Fatal 5-Way Elimination, when he won that, he won it funky with a kick to the groin and a roll up, grabbing the tights. Same way you won tonight.
Right.
So they're making him cheat to win.
But he's cheating to win
because he's over with the crowd.
Yeah, but he's not cheating in a heel way. He's cheating like in a it's okay to cheat because
the ref's not looking. I'm going to cheat.
You're Enzo, and
right.
It's like Eddie Guerrero cheating.
Yeah.
And
I cheat and steal.
Instead of it being like they completely transform it from being. They have,
But just
I think this match in general, and this was why it bugs me more than anything, is it shits on the whole idea of the Cruiserweight division.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it shits on the whole idea of the Cruiserweight Classic leading up and building up Neville as your top guy and trying to find someone.
He wasn't even in the tournament. Same with us and Aaron.
Right.
Same with Enzo Amore. The guys that were not in the tournament are getting over when the Cedric Alexanders, the Mustafa Ali, the Ari Daivari, the Noam Dars, the Jack Gallagher, the Brian Kendrick. All these guys worked their butt off in that tournament, had a great tournament, but yet now they're doing nothing.
Right, T.J. Perkins, he's another guy.
TJP, yeah, you don't even see these guys anymore. But it's like...
And the idea of having Enzo win here, it just shits on everything that you've created over the last year.
You could have had Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander go out there and probably put on a damn good match, 3 3/4 to 4-star. Would have been a lot.
But it's about the viewership. It's about people thinking, oh, Enzo is on 205 Live. Maybe I'll tune in 205 Live now.
Yeah, Akira Tozawa having the title for a week, winning it on a Raw, losing it the following Sunday.
I think it's another thing with it's the like the way that it's booked too. I think with coming from being in NXT. I guess because it was kind of ran by NXT, I know Triple H had a lot to do with the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, yeah, that was one of his
and had a
projects.
lot to do with bringing in those guys and had a lot to do with how it was booked. He's the man behind all of that, and look at the quality that you got all of that, how the match quality went, and how the matches went in that tournament.
Live,
and then when you get transformed over to Raw and you get it handled by a bunch of fucking monkeys and retards that don't know how to handle shit, and this is the outcome you get, and this
Tony Nese, he's another
is the progression. It's the regression, really, is the right word, that you get with the cruiserweights, and you get with a lot of things on the entire main roster when it's being handled by fucking idiots that just do not know how to fucking run a modern day 2017 fucking wrestling show. When other people, when finally Triple H takes over this whole fucking company and it gets fucking back to where it should fucking be. But you have a bunch of fucking idiots, and it goes back to the creative team, and it goes back to the way that things are done behind the scenes and how it's all booked up.
Vince has the final say. On NXT, the Cruiserweight Classic, Mae Young Classic, those are all Triple H projects.
Yeah.
He's the one who wanted to do all that. So
I have a question for you guys, because it's an interesting thought that I just thought of here anyway. Do you think if so much time and effort wasn't put towards the WWE network, the special programs and stuff like that, for the network, that the quality of Raw and SmackDown, the pay-per-views, would be better?
I think that's in it. I think you could say yes to that, but I don't think that's a good enough excuse.
I think there's two different things.
You know what I mean?
Because I'll tell you right now, the WWE, the network is great, and it continues to get better.
Yeah.
And better.
I would talk to Ryan. We sat this past Friday and we watched the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and we were talking. I told him about this this email that I got from WWE, which some of you guys, if you guys are subscribed to the WWE Network, you'll probably receive emails and stuff. They had an interesting survey that they sent out that had a lot to do with new features and new things coming to the network. Talked about Ring of Honor, talked about New Japan, it talked about TNA, it talked about so many different enhancements that they could to the network, which looks fucking great.
Creating a new show,
creating new
TV
shows,
14.
yeah, creating things that are more edgier and things this and that. It looked all great. at the end of the day, you do have, like what Ryan said, things that are on your television product that don't have anything to do with the network, that need a lot of fucking help and need a lot of attention outside of things that aren't on the network. Because at the end of the day, that's where your money is. I mean, that's where your people are viewing. Because if they don't have the network, their only option is to watch you on TV, and what you have on TV right now is fucking trash.
Yeah, but
and it's fucking bad.
If you don't have the network and you're watching a Raw and SmackDown, and No Mercy's coming up, you look at the card, you're watching Raw, going, I'm not getting that on pay-per-view.
Right.
It's not
that's
worth
the thing,
my
like
time.
about the network. Like people are like, oh, well, I'll get the network. Man, Raw and SmackDown are so good right now. Let me go get the network. When Raw and SmackDown are bad and your pay-per-views are bad, people just cancel the network.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yep.
But there's so many great features and different things that you can watch on the network that you would want to keep watching for the network, just the network, NXT and
that's worth to me. 205 Live and NXT.
I'm pretty much paying
so
$10 a month to watch NXT.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much all I mean watch on there and go back and watch older shows and stuff. But and I watch the pay-per-views here with all the guys. But it's just one of those things where it's like they're failing with their television product, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. It goes to show for the attendance, the attendance pictures that you've seen.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but you gotta look at it. There's a lot of sports that attendance is down across the board. NASCAR, baseball,
You've never seen this from WWE, though.
Right, but I mean, the attendance is down because there's so many different ways to watch.
Right.
Product
I mean,
now.
that's true. That's true. But I think it goes to say that
The live atmosphere of a Raw show is not as good as it used to be.
Live atmosphere for all of wrestling, I honestly think. For a lot of wrestling, because it's just been, for WWE, I would say, it's been really down the shitter because of just their product in general. But I think you can't just say because this sport or that sport has had low attendance because of performance or whatever, the ticket pricing or whatever the case may be. Like, WWE, with what I've seen lately and with what their television product has delivered or not delivered, has greatly influence their attendance ratings.
Yeah, but
I think it has a lot to do with that.
On a weekly basis, yes, but I think WrestleMania 34 is in New Orleans.
That's a completely different
thing. But I'm saying
WrestleMania is going to sell it because it's WrestleMania.
Exactly.
WrestleMania sells itself.
That's what I'm saying. Regardless of what the product is, it's still going to.
That's what I think.
Kind of stuff's
That's what
sell.
I'm saying. WrestleManias and the SummerSlams and all
Rumble.
those, they'll sell itself on its name alone. Raws and SmackDowns will sell itself on what the fuck is going on with your product.
And the shit that's happening right now?
Which is shit. And that's why those attendance and the viewership
part-time guy that's
has
world
been
champion?
down the shitter. Exactly. Especially for SmackDown with 3,000 people because you have a fucking jobber as your world champion. We could go on and on about that. We will. We're fucking going off on tangents. We started this as the Cruiserweight title discussion, and this is where it goes to.
Right.
Next up, we had the main event. If you want to call it that, for the Universal Championship, we had champion Brock Lesnar going up against Braun Strowman. This one, another one that I have to agree was definitely something I was intrigued by. I didn't really think the match quality wise was going to be anything special because it definitely was on an uphill climb for that one. But it intrigued me with the build that they've done with Braun Strowman because I think they've done a great job with Braun Strowman, to be totally honest with you. I think they've done a really good job of establishing him as a quality big man. And I think Braun Strowman has done a lot to get better and enhance in the ring and enhance himself. He's had some quality efforts with guys that you wouldn't expect, with like the Big Show and shit like that, and you can get in there and actually have some quality work and show some athleticism of a younger Big Show, back in the day, and actually look like a viable threat to Brock Lesnar, which is a hard thing to do. Because when, we've talked about the Roman Reigns of the world, that's why they're setting up the fucking collision of the fucking gods that they're trying to set up again with him and fucking Reigns, or Lesnar and Reigns, because they're the two shit brick houses that have been just booked to the fucking moon, because that's the way that Lesnar's been for quite some time. But they've done a good job, and they did a good job as far as tricking us into actually believing that Strowman had an actual threat at taking the title away from Lesnar, because I was intrigued to see if they would actually pull the trigger. They didn't. They kept the safe route and kept it on Lesnar here. I didn't find this intriguing at all. I literally thought this was pretty fucking trash. To be totally honest with you, it's your typical Lesnar match when you have a guy in there that can't fucking bring it out of him. I mean, there are few, which we went back to think of, one-on-one Brock Lesnar matches since he's made his return in 2012 that has A, gotten time, and B, been any fucking good. I could think of a couple off the top of my head that have actually been
Time-wise,
good.
Taker and Tripp stuff got time.
His first match
His
back.
first match with Cena and his
Yeah.
match at SummerSlam with CM Punk. Those are the two ones that I think of that were actually good. All the other ones that have been quality Brock Lesnar stuff have been him with multiple people in
Triple
it.
threat. Rumble.
Triple threat ones.
Fatal
The triple
four-way.
threat at the Rumble, Fatal 4-Ways that they had at SummerSlam was pretty good. I guess I could say that the one-on-one match that Lesnar and Reigns had at WrestleMania 31 was good by itself. Without having Reigns cash in. I think
SummerSlam last year, the last match that Lesnar had, it was over 10 minutes.
that was him and Taker, wasn't it?
SummerSlam
SummerSlam
16?
in 2016, I think
Yeah.
it was him and Taker.
Yeah,
Which that was fucking trash.
It was like 16 minutes.
Yeah, so I
No,
mean,
it was 11 minutes, excuse me. 11 minutes.
it's few and far between when we find singles matches with Brock Lesnar that have actually been quality. And we knew this was going to not be that great, obviously, with what you had in here. But still intrigued by the matchup, still intrigued by what we would get with it. I could give two shits about this match. I really didn't think it was anything. I still think Braun Strowman can be something they can build up and do some stuff with as far as just a big man. Nothing they should be booking fucking titles around him and shit. I don't want to see him with a fucking title. I thought they could maybe drop the title to him here if they were going to give him like maybe a 3-month title run and drop it back off at Rumble or something like that, or Survivor Series back off to Lesnar, because I figured Lesnar's probably going to just retain all the way throughout. After this matchup, he's not going to lose to anybody until Mania. He's going to hold it all the way until Mania and probably drop it to Reigns, which is what they've been planning on and what they've wanted. And again, we just see through the produced fucking formula here. It's just written already. Yeah, you could just already see it. But yeah, Lesnar retaining here in a pretty lackluster main event that really, in my opinion, didn't really deliver.
I'll sum it up. 6 suplexes by Lesnar, 3 power slams by Brock Lesnar, and 1 F5. Done.
Power slams by Strowman, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
3 power slams, 6 suplexes, and F5.
And it was what? It
9
felt
minutes.
long at 9
9
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, it felt long at 9 minutes. So.
I can't stand Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I think he's killing the wrestling business. I think he's killing not the wrestling business.
I thought that's what the Young Bucks were doing.
Oh right, no, the Young Bucks are creating their own business.
Oh, that's right.
And they're making lots of money.
The Young
without
Bucks
the
are the
WWE.
Hung Bucks.
Young Bucks.
Right. They're doing well for themselves.
Yeah, they are.
Keep up the good work. But
$6 million a year, what Brock Lesnar makes.
really,
I thought you were going to say the Young Bucks.
I was about to say. It's
like they're never going to want to go to WWE.
That's a lot of money.
Why the fuck would they?
No, Lesnar
Right.
makes 12 matches in 9 months. He makes $6 million.
Jesus.
God.
Yeah, Lesnar. I think Lesnar is a big part of why WWE is. I don't want
Down
to
the
use.
shitter?
I don't want to use dying because
Suffering.
Suffering might be the right word.
Yep.
Because like I said, I think the network is great. But like I said, their pay-per-view quality and their television product is bad. I think the thing you have to do is your world champion has to be on your main show every week on Raw. Like,
No, actually has to wrestle more than 12 times a year.
yeah, I mean, I get the whole the spectacle of having Brock Lesnar, and get that, and it'll draw in fans, but does it anymore?
Nope.
Does it really? Does anybody think that they have any chance of winning against him? Like, if I was a betting man now, I wouldn't say Brock Lesnar loses a match until Mania. Like, not at all. I mean, I think he made Joe look like a bitch. I think he made Strowman look like a bitch here. After you had both those guys built up to look really strong. Unless fucking somebody comes in other than Reigns and makes,
Lars Sullivan.
What?
Nah,
Okay. I don't even know who that is. What?
nah, some guy on NXT.
Losing track.
I mean,
Cole? What?
I mean, there's just. I think Brock Lesnar is definitely ruining the WWE product. I think he's a big problem with the WWE product. I think.
Wait. You're 2 world champions right now. Brock Lesnar, Jinder Mahal. And you wonder why ratings are down.
I don't think.
Our attendance.
I agree with Ryan on the fact that Lesnar's really he's making it to where it's just hard to have anybody get over. it's hard to establish anyone because you have this fucking wall you have to work around. And it's not even like like if he's in there as world champion, it's like, oh great, well at least we'll get some really good matches. Like, no, we don't even get that. He's just like there. It's like having a title on a giant tree that fucking nobody can fucking topple. Like, it's retarded when it's the same fucking match every single time where it's like less than fucking 10 or 7 minutes or whatever it is, and it's just a fucking pain to get through in some of them. And you just can't book around it because you can't make him look weak, but you're trying to make you build these guys up to face him to look really strong, and then you just cut them off at the legs whenever you get him in the ring with Lesnar, and then you just find the next guy and put him up there and then cut his fucking legs off, and then it's like, who the fuck else is left?
Who is the next guy
And then
now?
you lose luster for all of these people after they go in there and face Lesnar because they get made to look like a bitch. So it's like, what the fuck is your point? What future are you building when you just have Lesnar in there, who's an attraction wrestler, who's a part-time wrestler, it's a universal title, like, whatever. I don't really look at it as it being important, but it is your main title on your number one show, and as a world champion on your fucking product, and nobody can get over except for one guy, and it's already in the fucking books. The fucking night after WrestleMania, it's gone to the exact script since fucking April. It's gone script by script.
Paul Heyman said, Undertaker's 23-2. How about the two go 1-on-1?
They make it so goddamn obvious. They just make it too predictable. Fucking Lesnar's gonna go on. I mean, barring any crazy shit happening.
Injuries only gonna stop.
I mean, I would put money down on the main event of WrestleMania being fucking Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, with Roman Reigns yet again going over. And why should we care when we already knew a fucking year in advance? And it's not like they booked it like Rock and Cena, like they booked it a year in advance. No, it's just been kind of like you just know that that's going to happen because, like I said, it's just the formulaic plan that they have and that we see through. And then I'm assuming that nobody else gives a shit about because they're still paying attention to the product. I don't know why we are, because it's like, we already know what we're getting to. Why are we even humdick, fuck around even with these other shows? Because it's just pace by pace and step by step, the same fucking thing every goddamn time. And it's frustrating. You just want something to go in there and just buck the system and just fuck it all up and change everything, but it just doesn't. They just go with the plan. And
That's the Undisputed Era's phrase. Shock the system.
this Undisputed what?
Undisputed Era. That
Oh yeah, Adam Cole and Fish and
Fish and
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need something to shock the
the
system
system.
for sure, because the system's going right along, fucking right down the fucking road. Just no.
As long as
no
the
roadblocks,
WWE bottom line financially is in the black, nothing's ever going to change. As long as the system is making money for Vince, there's no reason to change it because people are going to buy the product.
Well, if that's the case, then listen to your audience.
No. You know what? If you're watching this and you are not happy with the WWE product, and you haven't been for a while, just end your subscription to the network and don't watch Raw or SmackDown. Just don't watch it. And if when they realize they're losing viewership and they're losing people from the network, maybe something will change.
Yeah, right.
Like, seriously, like I've taken my itch for wrestling somewhere else.
Right.
Like I fast forward through Raw in 30 minutes. I stop and maybe watch a match. I watch maybe a segment, 5-10 minutes of a segment. Like, I just don't care about it. It's not the wrestling quality's not there. It's just not there. It's just not there. And that goes basically down to the idea of mine and J-Man's idea is if we say we're gonna review something and then we watch it and we're like, this is trash, sorry, we're not gonna talk about it.
Why waste your time?
Yeah, why waste your time? I mean, it's just that's why we kind of wanted to get out here. I mean, we need to give you guys something, because I mean we did promise you do that SummerSlam video, but it's just you can even see with the guys on YouTube. I mean, the amount of videos being put out by people talking about wrestling has extremely decreased. You don't see anybody doing reviews of videos anymore because no one gives a shit. I mean, you see people doing reviews of maybe other shows or New Japan shows or some indie random shows and
And if
stuff
you
like
look
that.
at this video, how many times do we go off on a tangent about something completely different than what actually happened at No Mercy?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
if this card was that important and that great, we would talk solely about the Cruiserweight title. We wouldn't talk about who's better on 205 Live than these guys. We're not going to talk about Progress Wrestling a little, We're not going to talk about all that if the product that WWE's putting out there is worth talking about.
Right.
Well, it's a constant setup for them for us to think, you know what, this is the one. This is the show where they turn it around. This is the one where we're like, oh man, this on paper looks great. Let's see if they don't fuck it up. And every time they do. So
WrestleMania 35, it'll turn around.
We're hoping. Wait, in the 34? Is it 35? That'll be...
35 is a year and a half.
Oh, 35 is a year and a half from now, so you're planning on a year and a half. God damn, if it doesn't turn around by that point, I'm not watching anymore. That's for damn sure.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's a struggle. WWE's in a really bad spot right now. And it's sad because they have so much fucking talent on their roster. It's not the talent's fault. It's just everybody behind the scenes, not named Triple H, because he's got his shit straight and he knows what the fuck he's doing with his product. It's unfortunate that he doesn't get to do it on the main roster.
Some of the promos now are getting more personal and more edgier, I think. The Owens promo with...
Well, they said they wanted to bring realism into a lot of that.
With Shane, talking about the helicopter crash and your family wishes you would have died in it. Getting that personal with someone, it's like, whoa, that's kind of...
the Jinder Mahal promo, which had a lot of controversy around that. I kind of found it funny, but I'm a dick, so... but, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that stuff, too, involved, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you just can't deliver on a solid wrestling product and
don't control every aspect of every wrestling character.
Yeah. Give them a little leeway.
You gotta let a guy stretch out and do so, like... Creatively.
Right.
No, they creatively.
They
know what they're.
Look at this. I mean, look at this example. It's a great example. If they would have kept Stone Cold Steve Austin in the fucking Ringmaster gimmick, this is what this shit is kind of like. It's kind of like not being able to break out and become Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like The Rock staying into the Rocky Maivia gimmick and not breaking out and becoming The Rock. It's like Triple H staying as the Greenwich fucking Blue Blood and not breaking out to become Triple H. It's all of those things. And if you didn't have any of those things to where it's like, well, this is trash, we need to just change it and let this guy be himself.
Yeah, but hold on. What caused all that? That was pre-Attitude Era. What caused the Attitude Era? Everybody breaking out and being themselves.
Right.
There was competition.
That too, yeah.
There is no competition.
Yeah.
Vince is
it got to a point because it did. The viewership was hella down, mid-90s and stuff like that. We're going off a complete fucking...
Yeah, but it's still...
It is very, very true in that point where the product was down, people weren't giving a shit, and you added a realism and you added a sense of just letting guys be themselves, like what Ryan was saying. And you don't pigeonhole them and you don't corner them into you have to be just like this, and Vince is in everybody's ear, like you don't fucking look that way, you have to look this way, right at that camera at that angle, and then make sure whenever you go out there you say it just like it's like you're not the czar of fucking life. Like you don't have to rule everyone's fucking, like, you don't know everything. Yes, have you done the most for the wrestling industry? Yes, you've done a shit ton. We thank you for that. Now, get the fuck out of the way, because you're old and senile, and you don't have a grasp on reality and what the fuck is going on right now with the wrestling product. Yeah. You have no idea. He probably doesn't even know what the Elite is, or being the Elite is, or fucking all these indie promotions that are doing fucking great. Do you think he wanted to reach out to a Progress Wrestling and get a grasp on some of these UK guys? No! Guys like Triple H did, because he has a grasp on what fucking is now, and what's hip now, and what is good now. And Vince doesn't have that grasp.
Yeah, but if you look back at the era that was good, TV ratings were 6 to 10. There were segments on Raw that were getting 12. Yeah. The Mick Foley Rock Happy Birthday segment thing got like a 12 rating or something. Raw's getting like 1.8, 2 now. I mean, it's fallen so far.
Yeah, and there's a lot to contribute to that, and we could go on all fucking night if we wanted to, because this started as a No Mercy fucking review, but I had a feeling this is what it would turn into.
Is that what we were talking about?
It's what we were talking about, but we're getting to the key issues here at hand, and it is a problem and an issue for sure going on in WWE right now, but I guess we'll just have to keep hope alive and keep thinking things are going to fucking turn around.
WrestleMania 35.
But who fucking knows? WrestleMania 35. Let's hope it doesn't take a year and a half for that. Good God. But yeah, who knows, whenever you'll see us next. Me and Ryan have been talking about possibly doing like a like a state of wrestling video and kind of go over a lot of different products and a lot of different stuff
That might take all night.
It probably would. That we've wanted to talk about. We kind of got a little tip of the iceberg with WWE right now, which is a lot of other stuff we can talk about too. But might get that out to you guys. Might just do a random topics video or something like that. But I'm trying to think of what other things are coming up soon. But I mean, if there's any shows that
Hell in a Cell's in 2 weeks.
I don't think that's going to be anything special. So I mean, if anything comes up and surprises us and ends up being a good show, we might pop on here for a review or something. But I mean, until then, it's just kind of the way that at least WWE in the mainstream world has been as far as wrestling goes, and it's just, man, it's bad right now.
If you want to see the state of wrestling where it should be, and I think where WWE should be aiming for, you go check out Progress Wrestling's last big show, Chapter 55. If you've not heard of them, they're a UK promotion that WWE's working with.
Guys like the UK guys you've seen, and Pete Dunne, oh my god, I'm losing track.
Jack Gallagher, Tyler Bate,
Trent Seven, Tommy End, who's now
Aleister Black.
There
Ciampa, Gargano's worked there.
But look at the New Japan stuff. Where
New Japan, obviously.
Kenny Omega and Okada put on 6-star matches. I mean, come on.
I think
3 6-star matches this year.
I think the reachability would be the idea of something like Progress. I think NXT over the last couple of years has been biting Progress Wrestling's style of what wrestling is evolving into.
Right.
And if you go watch their last show, it's one of the best wrestling shows of the year.
Didn't McIntyre wrestle there when he was Drew Galloway?
Might have. I just came across this promotion recently, and I've been in awe of it. Yeah. So I've been watching their shows, watching a lot of their matches. Their last big show was the, other than maybe some New Japan stuff, the best wrestling show I've seen this year.
Yeah.
So, and it's brilliantly booked. It's booked very well. The matches were booked well. The storylines were booked well. And go check out Progress Wrestling. Yep. They're worth checking out.
And Ryan, we're probably going to be checking out the this year's Bola show soon. So
yeah, PWG's Bola show.
PWG's Bola that just came out, and that's supposed to be really, really good. So I mean, we have other alleys which we can find the wrestling we want to fucking watch,
right?
And we'll find it, even if unfortunately WWE is not producing, because they're not. Unfortunately, with the amount of talent that they have and the things that have been going on.
So there actually is quality wrestling these days?
There is. You gotta find it. You just gotta search. Gotta search all over the world, but you can find it. But yeah, this will now wrap up our WWE No Mercy 2017 review from my partners Robert and Ryan. I am J-Man, and thank you for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, professional wrestling world.